apples?
Yep, different sugar apples.
Different sugar apple.
And I got a red seedling that's growing. I can't wait to see what that is. Came from the Fresh Fruits Council.
So we are in Ocala.
Hi.
With Audrey.
Okay, I can take
You
my
know
mask
her
off over here.
from talking about her favorite mangoes and
Hi.
also growing mangoes in Zone 9A.
Yep.
We've come to her place in Ocala, which has a lot of history for you. And so could you tell us about like where you were born or raised in Florida?
Okay.
What brought you to Ocala? And then, of course, tell us about this property.
Okay.
Then and now.
Okay. I'm originally from Hawthorne, Johnson, Florida, which is a little historic town north of Ocala, about 30 minutes, and it's on the way to Palaca. Most people pass through it to get to Daytona Beach. It's a country town, a bunch of watermelon, peanut fields, all of which I grew. And I purchased this land in 2000, and I came to Ocala, let me back up. I came to Ocala in 1995 as an RN, working at the main hospital. And I was looking for property, but I wanted it to not be in the city. And I didn't want it to be too far from the city because of work. So I searched the county by quadrants. And one day I passed by here to go look between Highway 27 and Highway 40, and I saw them put a for sale sign up. On the way
Just as they were going in the ground.
They literally were sitting there, bam, and I stopped and got, it's a store down the street, I stopped and got something to eat and something to drink, and I saw the lady in her little blue car pull over and put up the sign, and I was like, that's gonna cost too much, because property on that side is like 18 to 20,000 per acre, all in 3, 4, and 5 acre parcels. When I called her at 4:30 that evening and she said the guy was selling this for 18,000 and it was 2 acres, I hung up the phone. I came back after dark, I snatched up the sign, grabbed some dirt, claimed this sign, this property, and I sat on top of my Mazda 626. And I looked at everything in the dark, because sometimes you get distracted in the daytime with everything you see, but I literally put on paper what's here today.
So,
and that was
that day that you saw the sign, you said, I'm going to take it.
Yep.
How long was it before you actually bought it?
I put a full bid offer on it with a non-refundable $3,000 down payment and asked her to hold it till December 31st. Because I already had 2 acres in town that I wanted to sell. I did not want to be in the city limits. I wanted, that road is the city limit. I'm in the county.
Oh.
And I'm that close to the city. I could be annexed, but I'm now recognized as agricultural. But on the last day of the newspaper running the land and home ad, someone saw my ad to sell that property, and he gave me a cash deal. And 2 days later, I closed on this property. And I wanted to close on the property because I wanted to own it so that the builder couldn't allow anyone to come in my home and see it. Because I drew this home on notebook paper while I did home health with advice of a bunch of old seniors that had built a bunch of homes. And as I ran through the parade of homes, I ran in, looked at their house, like hate that, and kind of put it all together. And then I took my design to an architect, and then I went to the A builders, and then I redlined their blueprints, their bid offers, and I built the house in 2003.
Oh, great. So it's 17 years now.
17 years now, but really only one tropical.
So when you first, you had everything laid out before you even built the house as far as what you wanted the property look like. So what type of plants were you planting in the beginning?
In the beginning, it was just the regular old country girl stuff. Plums, peaches, nectarine trees, some muscadine grapes, things I knew about. Mm-hmm. But as I explored on the University of YouTube and came across people like you, and then branched out, made my first home tour, went to see a guy named Andy Bayless and Gilbert Rivera, Kevin, and they just blew my mind. And then I started visiting more and more people, and then I was like, hey, I better visit a lady, because it looks like I only visit men off Facebook, and that could be taken wrong. I visited Karen, and man, we had a great time, and she had me eating fruit, meme sapote. I have a tree now. She gave me my several first things like lychee. I have a lychee tree now. And it just visiting other gardeners with a passion for tropical fruit, kind of when you're crazy like me, makes you passionate about tropical fruit. Because when I got my first sugar apple, I can't stop with sugar apples now. And I was able to visit a nursery and did not buy a mango tree. So I think therapy's working, but I am buying every other kind of fruit.
You haven't given up mangoes, but there are sometimes you can go to a nursery without actually buying a mango.
Yes, and it makes you feel bad because I have everything you have and then some.
So not all the varieties of mangoes that we have in South Florida make it up here, but you have more than all the nurseries around in this area do.
Yeah,
varieties, right?
yeah. I went shopping Friday after work, played a little bit of hooky, but I went shopping Friday, ended up going to the wrong address, found some things at his place, but it wasn't a mango. And everyone he tried to sell me, I was educating him about the mango. And I went to another guy's place that's going to get me some nice red jabotas. I can't wait to get those home. But still, he didn't have a mango tree that I wanted. And I was like, okay, maybe that's a sign that you're a little excessive.
Well, yeah, there are not many people who dare to grow mangoes in Ocala, though. You know, you are in a colder area than mangoes usually grow, but
I think that's a good thing. Those chill hours are going to make my mangoes great.
You're going to have a lot of flowers.
I'm going to have a lot of flowers. Yeah. My biggest thing that I need, as long as they live. And each winter, I learned something different. After the first winter, I had blankets and everything up. Nope, held in too much moisture. Had a lot of powdery mildew and anthracnose, so they flowered, but I lost them all. Last year, they flowered profusely, but then it was my fault that I brought in smoke by means of fire to keep them warm. So I know now not to necessarily draw in the flies to let them help me with the blooms and then kill all the pollinators. That happened last year.
Okay, we figured out that cycle.
Yeah, we figured out. I knew to spray, but I didn't know to not smother my flies. And got it too hot, so I had some grilled pineapple plants, and I've had a few parched mango leaves, but they all lived. So, but all the fruit did good last year.
So let's take a quick look at your collection back here.
Okay.
If you could just show us.
Okay.
What's going on?
You want to just go with the mangoes first, or you want to go with all of them?
With whatever comes up.
Okay. Well, this is my star apple. My star fruit. It had carambola. It has one little baby on it, and I now know there's another type, so I'm gonna get another one and put it here. Over here I have all my sugar apples and a Geffner.
So Adamoya, and then other ones over here, sugar apple.
Right, and I know some people say, oh, it's close to your house. By the time it bothers with my foundation, I'll be in a nursing home or ALF, so I don't care. And so I keep it small by doing some bonsai stuff, by directing the branches the way that I want them to go.
But the good thing about using, being close to the house is that it blocks the north wind. It also pulls the heat in.
Yep, I wanted that southwest, the southeast protection, the wind, the heat radiation from the block. And I study the sun, and when the sun is this way, this whole area is in full sun for a good 6 to 8 hours a day without a lot of wind. I rarely get wind coming from this way. Not that it doesn't happen, but nothing like what comes off northwest.
Yeah.
It's just some little fruit over there. You don't have to go that far. But come on through. I planted this when you come in. Wow. So this is something I found for $7 at Lowe's. It was $9.99, but they marked it down. It's a Soursop. Already has a nice pretty little canopy on it.
So again, it's on the east side of the house.
East side of the house.
Block a lot of those cold winds.
And what told me this side was good is all of these tropical flowers did not do well anywhere else in the yard, but they thrive over here on this south side of my bedroom wall. And then everything over here last year did great. The bananas didn't get one piece of frost on them.
Wow.
I didn't have a thermostat till late, and then I discovered it was quite a few degrees warmer over there.
Yeah, you've got all those oaks that are sort of probably keeping the heat down.
It is. I cut out a few branches to put in some more sun, and I was trying to do it without taking down the frost canopy up here, but I cut those 2 limbs down, a couple limbs from here, so all this is in sun the majority of the day at some point in time, and everything seems to be thriving. This is my Felina and how do you say it? Patanga tuba patch. Yeah, so I got most of these. This is a small one, but it should be fruiting soon. I went and visited Adam at Flying Fox Fruit.
Right.
Oh, that guy's awesome. So this is grafted. It's a surprise graft, but whatever he gave me that's grafted, I eat.
So you got Jabota Caba here, and is that one down there?
Yeah, this is just a Savara that I got from a nursery before I knew how much I really wanted them and how far away from fruiting this one was. So then I said, oh well, let me get another one.
Well, the grafted one should fruit pretty quickly.
And this one's grafted from Adam too.
All right.
He said, and great guy. Then I have a black Suriname cherry, some other Suriname cherries there. This is a Grimachama, I believe, that was donated to me by friends, and just a bunch of...
This doesn't look like my Grimachama.
Okay.
So you might be surprised. It might be something else.
Might be something else. I don't know what this is either, but I go back and look.
More like my Grimachama.
Okay, so this is the Grimachama, and that must be the the cocoa plant. Because I got both of the leaves mixed up.
It might be allspice. Did you get allspice?
Yeah, I did get allspice. It is allspice.
Okay.
Allspice.
Allspice Grimachama.
Allspice Grimachama, got it. Then over here.
Oh, you have a coconut already. Well, it's got a little friend.
It got a little friend. So I got some figs, custard apple.
Curry leaf here.
Yep.
So you had these plants, most of them, like for a couple years, or
no? All of these are within the last 6 months.
Oh, okay, this is what you buy, even more than this in 6 months' time.
I'm be honest.
This is a small fraction.
These were Friday. These were from the trip when I stopped and did the video with you, and the guy gave me the a sprouted coconut, and someone wanted a cutting of a Kathy, and I had 3 Ks. I said, I don't need 3 Kathys in the house, so I just gave him a Kathy tree, and he gave me a bacon avocado tree. I didn't have one, so it's that kind of fellowship when you're on the road. You just never know what you're gonna get. He also gave me a black sapote. Some people say they taste like crap, some people say they taste like chocolate pudding, so I just want to try the chocolate pudding.
They're delicious.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I just think they're really good. I don't really think it tastes like chocolate pudding.
Not at all.
But your mind thinks it is because of the way it looks. And
Okay.
such. But
So close my eyes and let it talk to me.
It's a nice fruit. You know, it's one that some people eat too early, and then it's not good if you're eating it when it's not right.
Okay. So over here, I built some dragon fruit trellises.
Oh, look at you! How about that?
Gilbert Roberta gave me a dragon fruit, and I saw a flower for the first time ever at his yard last year, and I fell in love with the flower. I said, I said, care less if I get the fruit. I want to see that flower in my yard.
It'd be fun if you got the fruit.
It is, and they're good. I have this was a rescue from last year. It was a Julie that the northwest wind killed.
Oh, so now it's a bonsai.
So now it's a bonsai. And then I started with one tree over here. It was my Kent that had a fruit punch grafted on it because it bust out of the pot. And I said, okay, buddy, you're asking for the dirt. So I just threw them in the dirt. And next thing I know, I got bananas. And
It started a trend. That
It
was
did.
The gateway tree, and then everything else.
Gateway. Then I learned about the different bananas, and now I'm praying for no flag, but if it does, I've put in those 2 big tall posts, and I can throw frost cloth over it and protect those bananas if they do try to flower, because that one's close. And I believe that's the one I first got from you.
All right.
That first day when you went and dug it up, after we came to the tour, and I have the grandfather, the father, and the pups ready for 2 years from now, so it's ready to fruit. I followed what you said do, keep them thin. So bunch of mangoes. This is a white Paris, a Pim Sing Moon. coconut cream, E22, ice cream. I just put this one in, cotton candy. Really aggressive growth, and I couldn't keep her in a pot. I mean, I've grafted off of it. I've done lean-to grafts, and it just kept going. So I put her over here under the canopy. Then I got buttercream. I moved Rosie Gold because I learned that she's an early bloomer. And where I had her, she would be in full-on northwest winter wind, and there would never be a shot of getting one of those early ones, so I tucked her back in the back. And I'm hoping that she gives me some blooms this year. But all of these trees, these in the back, are about a year old. All of those in last year. So
yeah, if we could just
keep going
from here. You don't have to walk around. But,
that's a big Jabota jacaba right there.
Okay, that's like in a 25 gallon?
30, I think.
30? Oh.
And then I keep it in the pool so that it keeps moist. Around the pool, I have several mango trees planted. Got some Meyer lemons, big pineapple plant patch, blueberry patch. That's my little citrus where I have Mewild and Nagami, kumquats. I got citrus limes, a dwarf Thai mulberry.
So how many hours a week do you think you spend out here working with the plants? I know you're thinking about them all the time, but you know, when you're actually outside working with them.
I'm out here about 3 hours a day.
3 hours a day, so yeah, I can do the math. That goes to 21 hours a week.
Easy.
Except for on Sunday, it's more than 3 hours, right?
Oh yeah, it's like all day. Yeah, I was out here until 9:30 last night with it's spotlight night time now. I put my night light on. People can't really see me unless they're passing by, and that's when I get my most work done. I put up most of those arches last night, and it really let me know I want a Gothic arch high tunnel. It helps me to see the shape. I don't want the round arch. I want that Gothic boom when you walk in, and then when I roll up the windows and let the sides up, and it's just gonna be true tropical with flowers and fruit dripping. But I'm not looking to share fruit for a few years.
Yeah, I bet.
No, I can eat everything that this produces in the next couple of years.
Yeah, there's always freezing and dehydrating if you know, run out of room in your stomach on any day.
Yeah, I came down in June and in July to get fruit that I thought I was going to freeze. It was gone before the end of August. I kept taking it out and eating it. And so now I'm without any mango whatsoever. COVID keeps me from following the fruit to Arizona and California, because that was another plan this year. After seeing the fruit this one guy grows in Arizona, it is blemish free out there because the weather's so high and dry. They have to just worry about protecting them from cooking during the daytime, and then
the cold
at night. But his trees are just beautiful. And so then there's a couple people from California, and I see their fruits ripening. I was like, okay, so go to Arizona in September, go to California October and November. Fruit.
That'll have to be another year then.
Another year when COVID lets us up. That's really it. This whole side gets protected from the pool and the hedges from the pool, and the pool is heated, so it blows over that heat.
Oh, don't waste that heat on, just going into the air. It can work again, right?
So after about September, I quit trimming my hedges so they'll get taller and give me a little bit more protection. Because if you look at all the mango trees, there's only one taller than the hedge, and that's that crazy Maha Chinook. She won't stay in place for nothing.
So when you first got this property, it was like full of the oak trees, right? Full
of oak trees. There wasn't a fruit tree. This was just vacant, empty, bare land. I cleared all this with axe, grub hoe, like we used to do in the old days. There were no chainsaws used. And every tree that I wanted to save is still here because it had a purpose. Like this is going to be a swing one day. The swing's going to come down from there. For my granddaughter with the tire, and that's going to be me in a swing sitting there looking at my fruit. That hole is pre-dug for a koi pond. I was thinking about moving it and I was going to cover it up. I said the only thing more crazy than digging a hole twice is digging it 3 times. So just leave it there till you really know where you're going to put the koi pond.
So you have the koi pond as a future plan. What other future plans do you have for your property?
I want to put in an outdoor stone patio with a fireplace, with the back facing this way. So that as I sit on the patio and we're entertaining up on the pool, the back of that grill is going to throw heat to my plants.
Okay, it's got to work too.
It got to work too. Everything has to work. Not only will it be a wind barrier, it will throw heat from the heated fireplace.
Okay. Well, sounds great.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for telling us how you got this started and what you're going to do. So I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.